Hi, I'm going to show you how to make a sentence type cartoon. So during this week, we have talked about the four types of sentences that we have in English. And actually, they're the four types of sentences in many languages. So we have declarative sentences that are just statements. We have imperative sentences. They can be a statement, they're a command. They can end with a period or they can end with an exclamation mark, depending on how urgent the command is. We learned about exclamatory sentences. They end in an exclamation mark, and interrogative sentences end in a question mark, right? Like someone's being interrogated, they're being questioned. So, what you're going to do is, and I'm using pencil on purpose because I probably want to erase. So, I'm writing my name at the top. You can barely see it, I know, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I have to be able to erase because I'm going to be doing some drawings. So the first thing I want you to do is do a little bit of planning. You're going to make a cartoon, and there are going to be four sentences on your cartoon. So you have to have four sentences written. The title of your cartoon, the name of your cartoon is going to go over here sideways. So let's say that I wanted to make a cartoon, and my cartoon, I'm going to plan it a little bit on the back. As you're making a cartoon, you should know that when someone is thinking, if I think something, I use a thought bubble that looks like a little cloud, right? If I am speaking or I am saying something, you're going to use this kind of bubble. So if you're going to say something, you use that kind of bubble. It has a point on the end, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a character, and you want your character to be using a declarative sentence, using an imperative sentence, using an exclamatory sentence, using an interrogative sentence. Okay? So I'm thinking of who I want to draw for my character. I am super bad at drawing animals, so I don't know if I want to draw an animal or not. You guys might want to. Sometimes kids will draw existing cartoon characters, like I've seen lots of SpongeBob sentence type cartoons. Um, so if I were to draw a cartoon, I love food, and so I think I would want my cartoon to have food in it, and I would want the characters to be food. So I'm thinking and I'm planning, and you can write on the back of the paper if you want to think first so that you don't ruin your whole paper. I recommend also using light pencil so that you don't mess it up. If you do mess it up, you can always make your own on a piece of paper. Just write declarative, imperative, exclamatory, interrogative at the top. That's fine too. So if I started out, I might have a plate that has a plate like a dinner plate. And my plate has an egg on it. And let's say also that it had strips of bacon on it. And I want it to look more like a plate, so I'm going to put the little plate lines on it that happen. And then it's a cartoon, so I want my plate to be a person. So I'm going to give my cartoon some little legs. And I probably want my cartoon to have round legs. And I probably want my cartoon to have little hands too. Except I drew the plate really big, so they don't fit. So my plate is going to be saying, It's going to need to have little eyeballs too. And a little mouth. So my plate is going to say, I'm going to have my plate thinking, I'm ready for breakfast. And that has to end in a period, right? And I'm going to have my character be thinking that. Right? So my character is thinking, I'm going to zoom in on it so you can see it a little bit better. Whoops, not that far. Hello. So my plate is saying, I am ready for breakfast. And it has a period at the end, and I have my sentence. I'll make it a little bit darker so you can see it. I'm ready. Oops. I'm going to spell it wrong. I am ready for breakfast. And then I want to have my person standing, like I want to have a backdrop, right? You just don't want him floating in space. So I'm going to put like a backdrop behind him. And then I'm going to have my next sentence is going to be an imperative sentence. So it's going to be a command. So I'm going to have my character say, give me a fork. Right? Can you guys tell that that's bacon? So my character is going to be saying, give me a fork. And I'm going to draw him a little bit further down or actually I'm just going to draw a fork. So he's going to be saying, give me a fork. And I might also have him just continuing off on this page. So he's saying, give me a fork. And that's not an emergency, so it's just going to end in a period, right? Here's his little weird hand. Looks kind of strange. So he's saying, give me a fork. Just making it a little bit darker so you can see it. And you can add color to this. You could, if you have a Sharpie, it looks nice if you can Sharpie it, right? So right here I have my declarative sentence. He's thinking, he's saying, I am ready for breakfast. And then he says, give me a fork. And then what we're going to have happen is there's going to be a table, right? So we're going to make a table. He's on the table. His plate is on the table. Here's the egg. He's thinking that he's going to eat breakfast, but he is breakfast, right? So he's going to be on the table. This is kind of a weird, sick cartoon. He's on the table, and we'll put the tablecloth down here. And we'll kind of make it a checkerboard tablecloth. But instead of him eating breakfast, he's going to become breakfast. So we'll put a little person over here. A little Karen over here that's with glasses. And the Karen is going to be sitting here at the table, right? And the Karen is going to be saying, let's eat. Or let's eat would be a command. So I'm going to move Karen over a little bit. That's why I used eraser. So I'm going to move Karen over a little bit so that she's out of the way. So she has room to be saying the sentence. So she's going to say, let's eat. Or she's going to be saying, I'm ready for breakfast. Let's have her yelling, I'm ready for breakfast. Let's put her glasses back on. She kind of looks evil. And she's going to be saying the same thing he's saying, only with an exclamation mark, right? I'm also ready, exclamation mark. And then we're going to end it with a question, okay? So you're going to figure out, I'm going to stop right here, but you're going to figure out what a question we could end it with. So the question could be, is she going to eat him? Question mark. There could be other characters. Or he could be asking, is she going to eat me? Question mark. Right? It could end any way that you want it to end, right? So then when I'm going to come up with a title over here, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to draw a little clock on here. And I'm going to call it breakfast time. I'm going to get kind of fancy here. Breakfast. Capital T. I-M-E, right? So you're going to put the title of your comic goes over to the side. And then you're going to make sure that all 4 are finished. You're also going to make sure that I can read these really well and that I can see your punctuation, right? And you're going to make sure this one is interrogative. Right, and you're going to make sure that this one is exclamatory and that this one is interrogative and this one's declarative, okay? All right, so that is how you're going to make a sentence type cartoon. And then, of course, you're going to add color to it. You have all those fantastic crayons and colored pencils, and you might want to add a little bit of Sharpie or a little bit of dark black outline with colored pencil to make it pop. And I can't wait to see your cartoons. These are always really fun to look at. Again, you can make up your own characters, or you can use other cartoon characters if you have favorite cartoon characters like Tom and Jerry, or I love Coyote and Roadrunner, right? So you can use other cartoon characters if you can't think up your own weird character like I did, okay? All right. Good luck, and I can't wait to see your results. Talk to you later.